Hello, my beautiful friends. How are you? I haven't seen you for a few days. It's been raging busy. But I was out doing some shadow work tonight, and I am down in the kitchen, not in my office, but I'll get back up there. I just happen to have all my stuff down here because I just got in from the woods. So it was awesome. So I've been feeling a little weird energy the past few days. We're coming up to an eclipse, so that's not too unusual. That'll happen tomorrow on the 20th. But just a little bit of weird energy. Part of it, I think, is because the work that I do, like, that keeps the lights on and pays the bills. I was an English professor for a long time, and I used technology in the teaching of literature, which wasn't, at least when I started doing it, very common. And so I have, over the course of my career, become a specialist in things like artificial intelligence and virtual reality and augmented reality, what we call the extended reality, but also things like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and quantum computing, things like that. I am such a nerd, like you have absolutely no idea. But with ChatGPT, sort of pushing AI into the faces of everybody. AI has been around for a very long time. But recently, Elon Musk has done some interviews, and, like, seriously, if Elon Musk says, dude, I'm scared of AI, we should probably all pay attention because, he co-founded Open AI, which is the folks who put out ChatGPT. OpenAI was supposed to be open. That was supposed to be an open platform. One of my closest friends, John Claude Bradley, who is a organic chemistry professor, a visionary way ahead of his time, and unfortunately committed suicide before he could see the likes of someone like Elon Musk. He was producing open notebook science, because in the academy, the way that we publish information is through this very complex, convoluted, totally impossible, impassable system, especially in the sciences, with the publishing of journals that the public's already paid for through their tax dollars, and those grants are then given. And so the only things that are ever solved are like the major diseases, where things like malaria and things that aren't profitable for pharmaceuticals, like, they don't get any attention. And with the advent of the openness and open sharing, that information could be shared, and that's what John Cloud was trying to fight for. But he just wasn't getting anywhere with the academy. But with folks like Elon pushing that envelope, things have become more open, and we can share code and we can share findings, and the processing of, from, doing the research to finding a solution has exponentially changed in speed, to the benefit of helping people. So you're like, what the hell does that have to do with runestones? Nothing. But I have a very scientific side that I often have to balance with my spiritual side. And I've been watching the interviews with Elon Musk. I loved watching him tear apart the BBC dude. And but I've really enjoyed listening to him speak. And as I've said about other famous people, I don't really give a crap about his personal life. I don't care who he dates. I don't care what he wears. A Kardashian could walk right into me and I wouldn't even know who they were, because I don't give a shit about stuff like that. It's not my jam. So I don't care. It doesn't matter if I like the guy or not. I don't know the guy. And but every time I've heard him speak, he is the only person at that level who's talking about our freedom and the future of humanity. And it's such an important topic, because when it comes to AI, so like my job, what I do every day is I explain very complicated technology in the most simplistic terms to the basic normal human being. That's what I do. So, for example, a lot of people think that AI is like searching the web, like if you use an AI art program like Midjourney or Blue Willow. It doesn't actually work like that. Google search works like that. Bing, that's a search engine, and that searches for stuff. AI is predicting a result. So if I say peanut butter and, you're going to say jelly, right? So that is AI. It's saying, here are all the things that have been written, if it's like a written form of AI, or here are all the things that have been produced, if it's a visual form. And when people say peanut butter and, they're probably expecting jelly. And what Elon Musk is saying is if we remove the word jelly and we replace jelly with bananas, peanut butter and bananas, eventually the AI learns that it predicts that the bananas is the right answer because jelly is coming out. So we shouldn't be censoring AI, right? We shouldn't be teaching or training AI to lie. And he's the only person at that upper table talking about it. When we talk about quantum computing, people are like, what the hell is that? Well, in forever and ever, we have ones and zeros. That's how we program. That's how all of this stuff works with programming. And forever, you only had ones and zeros. So if you think about a quarter, right, one is heads, tails is zero. Quantum computing is allowing you to use the edge of the quarter, the round part, as a programming space as well. And that's infinite because that's a loop that never ends. So our speeds, we can speed up the amount of time it takes for computers to do research, which is transformational in science, in healthcare, and things in spaces like that. So my job during the day, the thing that pays for all these stones and cards and everything else, is to explain to people through the teaching of literature when I'm doing that part of my work, or through helping educators use technology in the classroom in any discipline, is really translating all of this scary technology into terms that people can understand. And that often, it doesn't come in conflict with my spirituality because I don't necessarily believe that those things are connected, but I do think that we, as a human species, need to really protect truth, right? So, who gets to decide what truth is? Well, there's some hard and fast facts, right? Are runestones truth? Are religions and philosophies, are they true? Well, I don't know that I'm qualified to answer that. I don't know that anybody is, because I think you have an inner truth that guides you and guides your soul. But I would say that we are all part of this infinite truth, this infinite light. You can call it God, you can call it Jesus, you can call it Hello Kitty, you can call it, banana pants, or whatever you want. But at the end of the day, at the end of this cycle, we're all connected to this one consciousness, and we're all part of the light. And lots of blocks are put in place in the name of religion, in the name of philosophy, in the name of technology, right? There's all kinds of blocks that prevent us from seeking truth and promoting goodness and love and light, right? And so my work becomes more difficult, because how do you explain to people how this technology, which they're terrified of, even Elon is terrified of, how do you make that less scary for people and see that it can be used as a tool for light and love, right? How can we leverage this technology to make the world a better place instead of a scarier place? So that's the energy I've been living in. So I had to go out tonight. I had to get into nature. It's Earth Day week, Earth Week. I don't know what they call it. So I needed to get, and so I looked up trails near me, and I've done all the trails near me, and I'm like, oh, there's this thing called the Rocks. I'm gonna go there. What is this fancy place that I haven't heard of in the 3 years I've lived here? And it's literally like you drive up and there are rocks there, and there's a picnic table there, and I was like, oh, this isn't a hike, but it was a picnic table, and then there were some rocks that went down to the river, the Lehigh, and that was very nice. And so I sat there and I was like, okay, I wasn't meant to hike tonight, but I had all my stuff with me, and I was like, I really kind of need to get out of this negative energy. I need to find where the light is, because I'm Elon Musk, is in their stratosphere as far as, leadership. I'm so glad there's somebody up at that level talking, but, people like me never meet people like him. So, but the thing that we have in common, I think, is this care and concern for humanity, right? We want to see the human race succeed. We want to see humanity go on. So how do we do that? How can I, in my little role, in my little space, in my little corner of the world, how can I help that happen? So, I pulled the stones. Very first stone was the humanity stone, Manas. And then how did we get here was Hagelas, which is chaos. And if you remember, I did a reading just the other day. Honest to Pete, in the position of what you can't change was Gibo. Again, like so far the zones are exactly the same. Gibo staying in the same formation. And then we had Kinez backwards, which is Kinez in its front position is shedding light, sharing things, but Kinez in the backwards position is like blocking light, blocking learning, blocking knowledge. And so that was in the position of things I can control. And then in the outcome, I can't remember what the outcome was. What was the outcome? Oh, outcome was Rado, which is travel, journey, And so I was thinking, like, really the blocking that we do, because we're afraid of things. Like, we're afraid of this technology. We're afraid of the impact it has or could have. AI has been around forever, and, English professors have just figured it out because now students are turning stuff in with ChatGPT, and they're never going to get a handle on it. Like, you can make a policy, you can do whatever you want, but we've had plagiarism policies in place for 1,000 years, and students, trust me, I teach a lot, and students manage to plagiarize every single semester. So how do you kind of use it for good? So, like, right now I'm writing a course. I teach American Romantics every year, have for longer than I'm alive, really. This will be my 28th year teaching it. And so we're going to use ChatGPT. We're going to use it to get a framework for each of the authors, and then have students find evidence of the different things. So in that way, we'll use it for good. I now remember why I don't record in the kitchen, because people come in and take donuts and bang plates. So we can use this technology for good, and really, we need to pay more attention. We can't allow, just social media, to develop our opinions for us. We need to be independent thinkers and think clearly about spiritual things, think clearly about humanitarian efforts. And so, anyway, that's what I've been doing. I'll be back to pulling a rune tomorrow. I'm wishing you all the very best in light and love. Be well. Bye-bye.